Hey, welcome to my channel. I'm Christina, and today I'm going to show you how to do a basket weave feed-in technique. So I wasn't planning on recording this, but this is the starting point. Basically, with the basket weave technique, you want to do leave a space, braid, leave a space, braid. So I already left a space down at the bottom. This is the amount of hair that I'm going to use for each braid. Right here, I'm going to section each braid off with 6 to 8 pieces of hair. Each piece of hair is almost the same size. Every 2 pieces, you want to decrease the size just a little. So right here, I'm on the second braid. So this is how I start the braid. And I just want to show you that I leave the baby hair out before I even begin the braid, just so that I'm not creating any tension or, pulling the baby hairs out after the braid is already done. So with my feed-ins, depending on the texture of the hair and the density and how big the braids will be, I won't add the hair until almost to the end of the braid. So I wrap the hair around my pinky finger, or basically my pinky finger grasps the hair. Then I slide the hair under my index finger, the finger that's holding the hair, the finger and the thumb that's holding the braid. I continue to braid down. Then I release that hair from my pinky finger and throw that to the front. Continue to braid and then grab that strand of hair and swing it into the braid. So I'm going to show it in real time. As I said, I'm just grabbing the hair with my pinky finger and sliding it underneath my first finger. And doing the same thing again. I'm just going to keep repeating that until I get all 6 to 8 pieces in. In the meantime, I'm going to be making sure I don't get any of that outside hair into the braid. Keep your comb nearby and your jam so that once, because you want to keep the hair nice, not like nice and stiff, like super hard, but so that's what it looks like with the 2 braids and the empty space. So now this is going to be an empty space. I'm showing you how I part. That's the amount of jam I'm using. And I'm going to add that to the part. So a lot of times you might have to go over your part multiple times. But I'm sorry, y'all. This is my first time recording a actual live braiding tutorial. So I didn't have the camera close enough. So once I zoomed in, the pixels just didn't come out right. But just bear with me, y'all. I'm gonna get better at this. So if y'all got some tips on where to set the camera and stuff like that, let me know in the comment section. I appreciate that. But basically, this is how I get my parts really, really straight. And the sections that you leave empty in between each braid, you want them to be the size of actual braid as if you were actually going to braid it. That way, the basket weave technique looks balanced. So with each client, I usually keep a wide tooth comb and my metal rat tail comb. And right here, I'm just showing you in slow motion what I do. I put jam on that little section that I'm going to start the braid off with. Usually I'll braid cross the hands over once, then pick up hair from the scalp. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to establish the braid and braid it again and then pick up hair from the scalp. That's a tip that I learned. It really helps your braid to basically look like it's really starting at the front. It's not pulling back. You know how sometimes when you first start braiding, And it's like, dang, why my braid starting so far back? That's because you didn't really establish the braid, before you start picking up hair from the scalp. So that's a good tip. So basically, with this clip, this is where I start. I basically start adding hair at the same spot with each braid. And as I braid, I use jam, as you can see, to moisturize the hair, keep it from being frizzy and stuff. And I use the comb to keep the hair detangled as I'm braiding. Because that's the whole point of having braids, right? You don't want your hair to be all tangled up in the braid. Like, that's purposeless. So instead of just keep like showing the same thing, I'm going to show you clips on each finished braid and then each open section. So in total, I had 6 braids. And I had 7 sections, I think. Yeah, 7 sections. And if you notice, her part in the front is starting way over from, it's starting like a little bit over from her widow's peak. And then it's slanted all the way over to this end part in the back. So that's very important, to pay attention to when you're pre-parting and starting this style, because this section is where the box braids will go. So I opted to do knotless box braids. What I'm doing here is just establishing the braid once again. Then I'm going to add the hair the same exact way as I did with the feet ends. I'm going to grab it with my pinky and throw it under my first finger. Throw that hair up. Continue to braid, and then wrap the hair into the braid. So with my feet ends, I usually use 3 even strands of hair. The amount of hair you use will, the amount of hair you use determines the size of the braid. The size of the section of the braid, should I say. So I'm just gonna keep stacking these box braids, these knotless box braids. And she will be getting beads added to the end. On the end of this hairstyle, she'll have beads. That's the size of the braiding hair that I'm using. The amount of the braiding. And watch the eye roll go. I love doing kids' hair. They are so funny. So this is more of a close-up of how I do the braids. I use pre-stretched hair. I used to use expression hair like back when I first started feed-in braids. I like expression hair for the density and the weight of it, but this pre-stretched hair is so much easier to work with, quicker to deal with. Why not? So right here, I'm just showing you how I do the hairline for the knotless box braids. What I do is add jam and I push all the hair back, and then I take the baby hair out. It's just like a way more cleaner look as the end result when I do it that way. I used to just kind of like add jam, then take the baby hair out and comb the hair back that was out. But I found that when I put the jam on and take the comb all the hair back, then take the baby hair out, it made a big difference. And as you can see, she is hilarious. But I'm just showing you the box braids, like how they are moving and laying. And you see the front is right past her widow's peak, but the back is like almost gone. It's like almost no braids back there. So now we're gonna move on to the other side. So I found that the trick to this style for me was to get my angle right. So what I'm doing is just parting, braiding the hair back, and I think I used about 6 pieces, but they were like way smaller right here, these first couple braids. But it's so simple, like as you go, like at first you may not feel like man, and that's just showing you the part, showing you like how it looks. Because for me at first I was just like, I've done this style before but never to the side. Like this style was inspired by um a photo that like a lot of my clients was sending me, and I was like, man, I've done basket weave but not to the side. And the way in the photo how she hit the angle, I was like, man, I don't know if I could do that. But it's really personalized based on, your client's head size and stuff like that. So right here is when it's kind of like started to come together for me. I'm like, all right, yeah, this is really starting to look like a little basket weave. Like, okay. So just hang in there, be kind of patient. You don't really have to add those box braids underneath. But I just want to show you all like how it look, how full it looks when you do add those box braids. And for me right here, this is when I really, start getting excited. I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be cute. So you want to put the jam on both sides of the braid, detangle the braid. And right here at the nape of the hair, I establish my braid the same way I do at the beginning of the hairline. I braid a couple times and then I pick up hair from the scalp so that it's not pulling or, starting the braid starting back real far. And I also mentioned earlier in the video that depending on the density of the hair, I don't add the weave into the end of the braid. But here, because it's a basket weave style and I got to skip, the scalp, it's a braid in between, I needed that hair. And right here, this is the finished look. What do you think? Like, let me know how you feel about this in the comment box, in the comment area below, y'all. I sewed that one little braid back there up, and I added the beads. If you like this video, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. Like, I'm a braider. I'm into makeup, and I make wigs. I make braided wigs, too. So follow me on Instagram at Christina's Comb. Thanks for watching. I would also love to hear what type of tutorials you all like to see. Just any type of videos actually you all like to see. And I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned, a lot. And thanks for watching once again. Don't forget to subscribe, y'all.